Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the DunnWisdom Morning Show. It is Thursday, and you know what that means. It's another episode of Talk to Coach Dunn Thursday. My name is Melissa Dunn, and I am the CEO of MD Marketing Network. I'm also the founder of this Dunn Wisdom movement and a candidate for Lauderhill City Commission seat number 2. Happy Thursday, you guys. So, today, I want to speak about 6 ways to feel better when life gets you down. I know we've all experienced it, right? The storms start to rage. You start to feel a little bit off. You start to feel a little bit down. You start to feel a little bit depressed. And this is something that is really more prevalent now than ever. We're all in the midst of a pandemic, a global pandemic. Record numbers of folks have lost their jobs. A lot of homes are about to go into foreclosure, unfortunately. And so times are tough right now, you guys. It's really, really challenging. And I don't care who you are and what your social media profile says, at some point, you're going to start to feel down. So here are 6 ways to raise your vibration and to feel better when life gets you down. And these are ways that I have used myself to raise my vibration and feel better. So the first one is to look for the low-hanging fruit. This is actually a tip that I got from Preston Smiles. Look for the low-hanging fruits, the people that usually, anytime you're around them, you can't help but to laugh, you can't help but to feel better, the places that you go that make you feel better, the things that you do to make you feel better, anything that automatically makes you feel better. Do those things first, right? Sometimes you're on the phone and you're talking to your best friend or that colleague, and by the end of the conversation, you're laughing. You can't help but to laugh, right? So do the low-hanging things first that make you feel better. And then the second way to feel better when the storms of life are raging is for you to breathe. Just breathe. Now, this may sound counterintuitive, but a lot of times when we're stressed out, when we're feeling overwhelmed, the very first thing to go is our breath. One thing that I do when I'm starting to feel overwhelmed or flooded is I put my hand on my heart, I close my eyes, and I just breathe. And by focusing on the breath, you take your mind for a moment off of whatever it is that's bothering you, after whatever it is that's making you feel overwhelmed, and you just reconnect and realign with your breath. Okay. One of the things that I do often when I do that exercise is I say this thing to myself that I learned from Thich Nhat Hanh is, I'm breathing in love. I'm breathing out fear. I'm breathing in abundance. I'm breathing out fear. And I do that for as many repetitions as it takes to stabilize my heart rate, to release the stress, to release the immediate tension for what I'm feeling, right? So breathe. Here's the thing about emotions. It's like a guide, as a sliding scale, right? Abraham Hicks calls it the emotional scale. So if you're feeling sad, it's not easy for you to go from feeling sad all the way to feeling like, immense joy. It doesn't happen that way. There's a whole bunch of emotions between sad and immense joy. So what you do is you put yourself in a position to just feel better moment by moment by moment, right? So if you're feeling depressed, maybe anger is the next best emotion for you to reach on the sliding scale of emotions, right? I don't know if that makes any sense, but don't beat yourself up if you are trying to go from here to here. It just doesn't happen. You have to take the emotional steps, right? And so sometimes, if you're feeling depressed, anger is a better feeling emotion. So the first way is go for the low-hanging fruit. The second way is to breathe. Now, the third way is actually one of my favorite ways, and that's to get out in nature. And when you're out in nature, you're going to look for things that you love. One of the games that I play is I go out in nature and I just make a list. Oh my gosh, that flower is so beautiful. I love it. And oh, the rainbow looks so beautiful. I love it. Look at that cat. He's so healthy. I love it. So go out in nature. One of my rituals is I love to go to watch the sunrise on the beach. And that's my time to look for things that I love. And it always makes me feel better. No matter what's happening in my life, I always walk away from one of those trips feeling so much better. So get out in nature and look for things that you love. Take a walk and just spend 10 or 15 minutes making a list of things that you see that you love. The fourth way to bring yourself out of a rut, if your life is getting you down, is to throw on your best music, your most favorite song, right? And just to have a dance party. So put on your song, turn it up, and think about nothing else for the whole 3 minutes while that song is playing, and just dance. Dance and give yourself permission to move your body, to feel the rhythm of that song. And by the end of that song, you will feel so much better. Okay, so throw yourself a private dance party. Now, the fifth way to feel better when life gets you down is to sleep. I'm going to say that again. Sleep. A lot of times we allow ourselves to get so stressed out, to get so overscheduled and so overwhelmed that we don't get enough sleep. So sleep for 8 hours a day, right? For a whole week. Give yourself permission to get 8 hours of sleep for a whole week. And I guarantee you, with the rested body, then you'll have the opportunity to then, tackle whatever it is that was bothering you in the first place. All right. So sleep. And the sixth and final way to feel better when life gets you down is to talk to somebody. Pick up the phone, call someone, and tell them what's going on with you. Tell them what's happening in your life. Right? Whether it's a friend or a colleague or your parents or your sibling, call someone. You have a chosen family and a birth family, someone who loves you and cares about you and would be happy to remind you of your greatness. Call them, share with them what's happening with you, share with them what's happening in your life, what's making you feel overwhelmed. And by the end of that conversation, something, some way, you will walk away feeling just a little bit lighter. Okay? So remember, you are amazing. There is a destiny, a divine calling just for you. And your life, your presence here matters. So whether you never know, you might just walk into a store one day and smile at someone, and that smile is exactly what they needed in order for them to feel whole and reminded of how wonderful and loved they are. Okay? So remember, you are amazing. Greatness is in you, and you are loved. So I hope that these ways made sense to you. I am asking you to share this video. You never know who needs to hear this message. And thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Good morning, Mom. Thanks for watching. Wait, am I missing a day? It's Thursday today. Tomorrow's Friday. You're a day early. I love it. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this episode of Talk to Coach Dunn Thursday. If this supports you, I want you to like and share so that we will spread the message of love, healing, and hope. Remember, be kind and loving to yourself today. You deserve it. I'll be back here tomorrow with another episode of the DunnWisdom Morning Show. We will be featuring the Love and Peace Wellness Center, which is a Lauderhill business off of 441. And it's going to be a really interesting conversation. So I hope to see you again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Good morning, Miss Joy. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate the love. Indeed. Good morning. All right, y'all. See you tomorrow. Be well.